A couple months ago, you guys saw me install the Giraffe Tools Grand Falls pressure washer. Since then, it has seen a whole lot of daily use, a whole lot of car washing, and a whole lot of me not tripping on the hose because I was too lazy to reel it up by hand. This thing makes everything a lot easier. So when Giraffe Tools reached out and asked if I wanted to try their wall-mounted vacuum, the answer was obviously yes, for a number of different reasons, which we're going to dive into in today's video. Within the realm of detailing, the vacuum cleaner, I would say, is the most inconvenient tool that we use. When you want to take it out, you need to grab an extension cord because surely it's not going to reach the car. Plug it in. When we're moving it around, typically they're a foot or two off the ground, so you're bending all the way down to grab it. If it's a little bit full, it's going to be heavy, and then when you finally get to the car, that hose is typically probably 5 to 10 feet, depending on which one you have. So to get around a full vehicle, you're going to move it 4, 5, 6 different times. And all in all, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing it vehicle after vehicle after vehicle, day after day, it becomes rather inconvenient. And I think this Giraffe Tools vacuum is going to solve a lot of these problems. This is the Giraffe Tools wall-mounted vacuum cleaner, and much like the pressure washer, there's two reasons that I really like this product. First being it's wall-mounted, so it's up off the floor. You're not losing any square footage in your shop or your garage. Secondly, I am very messy, and I mean like very bad. Extension cords everywhere, hoses everywhere, tools everywhere. So this is a 30-foot auto-retracting hose, meaning it's pretty dang simple just to put away when I'm done with it, which is gonna help me a lot. And on top of those things, there's a bunch of other really great features that I think you guys are gonna like. The vacuum cleaner comes with 6 different nozzles that are capable of both wet and dry cleaning, a 20 kPa powerful motor, which is gonna lead to some extremely strong suction, especially compared to other vacuums that are on the market today, HEPA and sponge filters that are gonna remove 99% of dust, and a very large 4 to 4.5 gallon dustbin, meaning you're not gonna have to empty this thing out very often, and it's on the wall, so you're not gonna be carrying around a heavy dustbin either. Dump it out when it's full, resume. This is another feature that I didn't know it had that I think is extremely convenient for us detailers. So this is your wand, hose attaches here, nozzle attaches here. You can turn the vacuum cleaner off and on via a Bluetooth switch right in your hand. So say you're in a car, you get a phone call, you need a little bit more silence, you can turn the vacuum cleaner off, turn it back on when you're done, or for whatever other reason you have. All of us know how awkward it is to climb in and out of a vehicle many times just to turn the vacuum cleaner off and on. This is going to be very helpful for that. And there is a version that doesn't have this if you don't like this. There's just a switch on the vacuum. You can get that one as well. So whatever way you want it, you can get it. Moving on to installation, the kit comes with all the hardware you're going to need to install the vacuum cleaner onto drywall, concrete walls, cinder block walls, pretty much anything you're going to run into. Basically, you take these fasteners, you fasten these plates to the wall, and then the vacuum cleaner slides down onto them. My situation is just a little bit different. If you recall the pressure washer install, my walls are corrugated, so I can't do the regular installation. What I did with this is made this backing plate out of wood, painted it to match the wall, and then fastened it to the wall. From there, I was able to mount the bracket for the pressure washer and install it as normal, but there's just one extra step for me. I filmed the entire process in the last video, and I'll link it up here. But this time I'm going to run a 30-second install sequence on that backing plate and then move on to the regular installation. with your vacuum, you're going to receive your installation template. This is going to make it very easy to install on your wall. You can tape this up, level it based on the straight lines on the paper, and figure out exactly where the 8 holes need to go for your 2 brackets. Since I'm doing it on plywood, I'm going to be doing it flat, and I'm going to be using bolts to actually attach my brackets instead of the supplied screws, but the process is very similar. So you can see the illustrations line up with the holes on the brackets, so we know exactly where to drill. We'll drill all 8 holes, attach these, and then I'm going to use some self-tapping drill bits to get it on the wall, and then we can hang our vacuum and go on from there. I've got the vacuum cleaner up on the wall now, and I think it looks great. I put it at a height so that I could put my little husky cart underneath it, effectively doubling the usage of this space right here, which I think is great. Now there's a couple little things left to do. First, this is the silencer. This basically just quiets the vacuum down. It mounts at the back on the top. This bracket here attaches with 2 screws. I put it on before I put this on the wall, just because this beam right here would kind of make it a little more difficult, but basically you attach the wand to the vacuum, bring it around, and then rest it right there, so it's super easy access. So now, silencer, wand, and then we can move on to the accessory plate where all the nozzles and attachments fit on the wall as well. Vacuum is up and the mount that holds all the different nozzles is up. So in terms of just convenience and aesthetics, this is already so many steps ahead of the previous vacuum setup I was using. The tank that holds the debris is much larger, so we're gonna have to empty it less, which is another point to the convenience category. Now we're gonna see how it sucks. So if it can suck the same or better than the previous vacuum, this is basically a win all around. So what I'm gonna do, there's a bunch of sawdust on the floor from when I was cutting the panels for the backing plates. Grab the floor vacuum attachment, clean that up, see how it does, and then move on to the E34 with the more auto detailing attachment. That's gonna be the skinny one. I feel like that's pretty much the one that all of us are using in the auto detailing realm. So I'll grab that, clean up some sand on the carpets, and then see how maneuverable it is in terms of getting under the seats and between the seats. And after that, I should have a very good idea of how this stacks up, at least in my opinion, compared to my previous vacuums and just overall in the auto detailing and garage realm. Something that is very difficult to convey on camera is the actual suction power of a vacuum. Unless you're that little speck of dirt yourself getting sucked off the floor, it's pretty much going to be impossible. But I'd say we're somewhere in the realm of 10 to 20% stronger than my previous vacuum, which is fantastic, and for this price point, I think is even better. The two highlight features of this vacuum for me, much like the pressure washer, number one being the retractable hose. This is gonna make setup and cleanup so much easier and something that I'm actually going to do each time, and that combined with the Bluetooth on and off switch on the wand is kind of a game changer for me personally. Typically, I'm not excited for interior detailing projects or especially vacuuming, but this is gonna make it so convenient that it isn't gonna be something I mind doing whatsoever. With that being said, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below to the Giraffe Tools wall-mounted vacuum cleaner if you guys want to check it out. And I'm gonna continue testing out different products, different tools in all different categories. When I first started out detailing, I was using a bunch of the more entry-level stuff that you can get at your local hardware store and just making it work with the setup. And then later on, using what most people would consider the pinnacle tool or product in its category. And from there isn't really anywhere to go. So to have the ability to kind of work backwards and try different things at different price points for different levels is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying doing it. To end out this video, I'm gonna empty out the debris carton, the debris tray, and show you guys how easy it is to remove. Obviously we vacuumed for about 2.5 minutes, so there's just gonna be a little bit of dust in there, but it should give you an example of how simple this vacuum really works.